The young man immediately saw through the man's trick of slipping 3 cards out of the deck while shuffling, but he pretended not to notice. Then the clothing store owner, while cutting the cards, also quietly took 3 aces, but the young man remained unfazed, and instead directly bet 2,000 chips. Seeing his smug expression, the two thought they had him hooked, and followed the bet without hesitation. But what they never expected was that in this game, they were the real targets. In the next round, the young man added another 5,000, and the two across from him kept pace. But then, out of nowhere, he declared he was going to bet 10,000. The owner immediately became wary, because she knew he didn't have that many chips. Just yesterday, they had teamed up to clean out his wife's entire fortune, but the young man pulled out a bank card with a balance of 200,000. When he said it was borrowed, his wife panicked on the spot, urging him not to repeat her mistakes, but he acted like a gambler gone mad, berated her, and then exchanged all the money for chips, pushing them all in. Onlookers were stunned, saying he was risking his life for a breath of fresh air, basically handing money to the bullies, but no one saw it coming. Suddenly, the situation spun out of control. The bully and the owner started arguing, each claiming to have the better hand, and trying to force the other to fold. The young man immediately sneered, and accused them of working together to rip him off. They quickly denied it, and pushed all their chips in, thinking he was out of ammunition. But in the next second, he pulled out a deed from his bag, wanting to gamble one last time. His wife dropped to her knees on the spot, crying and begging him to stop, saying that if they lost the house, their family would be ruined. But he coldly pushed her away, saying their family had already been destroyed the day she lost 200,000. Onlookers tried to talk him down, but he insisted he would win. As soon as he said it, he exchanged the deed for 900,000 chips, went all in, and pushed them all forward. The scene erupted, with everyone in the room saying he was crazy, but this move actually left the bully and the owner in a tough spot. They didn't have enough chips, so the bully chose to fold. The owner gritted her teeth, mortgaged her clothing store, and after getting the chips, threw down 3 aces, confident of victory. Everyone in the room shook their heads and sighed, saying that even God couldn't save him now. His wife closed her eyes in despair, bracing for the end of their family. But the young man wasn't fazed at all. He slowly flipped over the first card. It was a 2. The crowd burst into laughter, saying he deserved it, that he had watched too many short videos, and actually thought he could turn the game around with a bad hand. The owner was even more smug, saying the odds of 3 aces meaning a 2, 3, and 5 were slimmer than a failing student getting into Harvard. But in the next second, he flipped over the second card, a 3. The room fell silent instantly. The air seemed to solidify, and everyone's heart was in their throat. The last card, under the watchful eyes of everyone holding their breath, was slammed down on the table by him. It was a 5. The owner's legs buckled, and her face turned pale as paper. She couldn't believe it. She had walked right into the young man's trap. It turned out he wasn't a gambler blinded by greed, but the legendary master of deceit from the gambling world, who had learned all sorts of tricks from a famous teacher.